Peace, family. I am Chi Vital, aka King Chi, and I am back with another tool for your toolkits. Firstly, let me congratulate you all as you tune in because we are almost at the finish line, baby. We Green has been in full effect. This 21 days has been going by like a freaking breeze. Okay. I'll tell the truth. We've had some bumps in the road, but needless to say, we have survived together. Okay? It has really been real. Really, real. So I want to start with that. We are going to have a most powerful full moon in Libra during Aries season. And I want to talk to you about that. But they're all connected, and I am excited. If you've been greening, let me see your green hearts in the chat. Let me see your green hearts in the comment section. It has been a beautiful team effort. Okay? Okay. Hey. Welcome, y'all. All right, shouts out to Black Venusian. She got her hearts up first. Shouts out to you, love. As y'all can see, y'all can't even see it. Let me make myself a little taller. So I just made the whole connection. I'm like, all right, I just started writing, and I started off week greening, full moon in Libra, and I just wrote. And then I was like, oh, wow, wait a minute. This energy is so potent with me right now because I had the awesome privilege for Fun Day Sunday to celebrate my little sister who is getting married this month because we're in April. She's getting married this month, so lots of dope energy with celebrating her. Yes, I'm the one who brings the alibi. So Sybil, if you're watching this, shout out to you. We love you, boo. We love you. Marriage is such a beautiful thing, and this is going to be an important focus point for us for this energy coming together. So one thing I want to mention, all right? One thing I want to mention. These few days leading up to the 5th into the 6th, okay? I need you all to be on your A game when it comes to the week greening and with the tips that I'm going to give you in this video. So when you're ready, put one in the chat so I can begin. All right. And I'm about to like tone it down a little bit. I just feel good because the good news is I had a really good time. And I'll tell y'all, going to a bridal shower where you are the cook. Okay, I was the cook. And being surrounded by so much amazing food. All right. And my shouts out to my soon to be wink sister-in-law who brought some jerk chicken from her mom. They from Trinidad and their food be bomb. Y'all, I didn't eat any. All right. Y'all want to talk about discipline? Cupcakes. Okay. Cupcakes. Fish and chicken and macaroni and cheese and my ground turkey baked ziti. Oh my gosh. And mimosas. Endless mimosas. I didn't do it, y'all. I didn't do it. So somebody come pat me on the back. Back. This is what I'm saying. When we do it together, it's easier. There's some accountability there. Not that you have to tell me the truth, but I'm trying to let you know it's kind of tough. And so I feel your pain. But what I thought was dope is that, with a bridal shower, we're talking about marriage. And marriage is going to be really important, not just the romantic thing, right? The romance of relationships is not what this is talking about. So Libra Okay, you got this full moon in Libra, governs the seventh house. And we know that Aries, okay, naturally governs the first house. So we have the sun, right, in the natural first house, looking at the natural seventh house, Libra. So we have the self looking at the union of two who become one, a new self, okay? And this dynamic, this connection is very, very important, especially now that you have gone through the burning, like, tires of changes, right? Of Pluto into Aquarius. Let's talk about it. First, let's review that in the seventh house, we're looking at marriage, we're looking at contractual relationships. So these are some serious, solid commitments that come with definite terms and consequences if not followed through. And when we make these kinds of commitments, when I say they have definite consequences if they are not followed through with, we understand that the relationships that we have, okay, the relationships that we have a direct influence on the sense of self. So we have self, we have these relationships. These are not just about romantic relationships. Fifth house, your romance, your fun, your passion, you don't, when it moves into the seventh house, now we're talking about what is really necessary for building, what is really necessary for legacy, what is necessary for the expansion, what brings balance. Because if we're all play and having a good time, we're not getting any work done and we're not being productive towards some type of mission, then we are going to be losing momentum in our soul, Sun, Aries, our soul mission gets lost. Now, another aspect that we're going to have access to is the sun now is going to shine again in this area where we have our open enemies. We got folks who like to be talking smack about us. And then we also can see who are our definite allies, who are really loyal, who are really down for us. Okay? Hence, the types of relationships that are in alignment with marriage, long-term commitment. This is important. This is important. I don't know about you in particular, but somebody will note that although we have moved into the glorious fire sign of Aries, energy has definitely been a bit on the sleepy side, much. Like really, really kind of stuck in dreamland, wanting to go. All right. The ideas have sparked. But let's look at why this slowdown is important. The slowdown is important to note because this window of time, moving up until the 5th and the 6th, will be most potent for you also realizing a completion in this theme of relationships, business partnerships, contracts, and all, right? And um or conflicts. So, what happens when we're having conflicts within our contractual relationships and we're feeling depleted? Some of that depletion is coming from a lack of boundaries. Some of that depletion is coming from being in a living space with people for too long where the energy is not harmonized and the frequency is not the same. And so, because you're in this space and we're being pushed to recognize that relationships and relation to how we are living with one another needs to shift in order to get the maximum benefit of energy in us having this mirror of what supports the soul. Okay? When these things over here in the seventh house and under this energetic are not in alignment with the mission of the soul, you're going to experience even more tension and heaviness around those relationships. And for those of you who are super sensitive, it is important that you move away from the energy of people pleasing, the energy of giving yeses when you really mean no, the energy of fearfully saying no when you really want to say yes as well. Because there's energy available to you if you can recognize that. So I want you in your notebooks to write down how you've been feeling and take note if you feel expanded. Even when you're tired, there's times when you feel a little more expanded in the presence of certain energy, and when you feel a little more constricted or drained in the presence of certain energy. And some of you, you're living with the same people for a long time and you're trying to figure out, how can I get back to that me. I want to feel me. I want to feel full of energy. Take note of your surroundings. Take note of what you are thinking, what you're eating, and your movement. Now is the time. I'm going to bring Mars in, okay? Now is the time to start building up that heat in your body. Although Mars is in Cancer, I want you to think about this fire in the water and do things that will build up sweat without you being in an overexerting yourself. Okay, so it's not this kind of like you don't want to be doing these fast movements, like going crazy, right? To create the sweat, you want to get in a sauna. You want to get in the steam room. You want to have some fluid movements that slowly generate that heat within your body. Because here's the next thing. If you've been greening with us, you already have been creating a body that is prepared for magic, prepared for ritual. You're already 10 steps ahead of everybody trying to jump in and do all of these things and manifest, and you are already 10 steps ahead of the game. Having prepared your body by purification so that you can feel your sensitivity even more, right? But I want to introduce to you all a technique tomorrow on drawing down power. Drawing down power. Because sometimes it just so happens that you're not feeling as full of energy, and you will need the elements to help support you in order to manifest with a big bang when you're doing your magic. So now that you have done your purification, and we only have 7 more days, family. Tomorrow, one more week. One more week of greening. And some of y'all are going to continue to take your aloe vera, and ginger, and lemon shots in the morning because that joint gets you right. Okay? We only have 7 more days. So leading up to that, you're going to really start warming up your bodies. Slow, consistent movements. So you, instead of doing like 15-30 minutes of yoga, you want to hit that sun salutation and see if you can do 10 rounds of it till you start to really deepen your breath, open up your spine, you start sweating, but it's still a slow movement. Slow movement, fluid, and creates a lot of heat. All right? Also, bear in mind, the sun is looking over here at your open enemies, and your critics got a big mouth and they telling you all this smack about you, what you aren't good at, what you could have done better at, you mediocre, you fat, you skinny, you ugly, you whatever, okay? Mars is in Cancer, y'all. If you don't know anything about Cancer, that represents the mother, the mother, the mother on the planet is the absolute most protective being on this planet. Mess with a mother's family and you're going to be in a problem. Okay? So you got Mars kicking it over here in Cancer. Like you have access to this very protective energy. Because Mars going to get to it. You see what I'm saying? And Mars governs Aries. So it's going to be a relationship. You want to know what is the planet talking about. So there's a strong protective energy right now over your soul speak, your soul journey, your soul script, who you are, who you're here to be, what is your mission. And sometimes we can't really explain like why all of a sudden like I just feel like really out of body and not really full of life. And I don't think anyone really did anything to me. Couple was hidden enemies. Open enemies are a drag too, because they are people who take it upon themselves to speak about you, even to your face, to antagonize you solely for the purpose of draining your energy. And so when you recognize these types of individuals in your field and you have this very strong protective energy, okay, going on, it's going to open your eyes more to who really is there for your soul, not for the romance. Who is there for your soul? What business partnerships are for your soul's mission? What marriages between your friends, your family members, okay, your pets, what marriages are there that are there to support your soul's mission? What can expand where you need to go? Okay? Don't ignore that. Does that make sense? This gotta make sense for you all. So during this time, be extra protective about your energy by answering things with absolute yeses or absolute nos. And most times, it's harder for people to recognize when their yes is really a no, because all of the niceties of being socially correct politically correct. Um, they cloud the vision. They cloud the vision. And naturally, we don't want to hurt someone when that's not the intention. But you must recognize that in not having clarity about your yeses and your nos, you hurt yourself very deeply. And when we have this lineup of energy, the hurt goes even deeper. The way that you will feel burnt is going to be third degree burn, not cocoa butter burn. So look at that for yourself. As a self study, you may want to look at if you have any personal planets in the seventh house. Okay. Um, and you want to look at where your Libra is, because your seventh house may not be Libra if you're not an Aries rising. Okay. But this is gonna help you have some clues. Just checking. There might be some contracts that need to end. Some of the conflicts that you're having, they may not mean endings, they may mean that there needs to be a really honest, open conversation about what you really need. And again, not for your immediate gratification, but what you need so that your spirit feels okay. So your spirit feels okay. What's going to help you build rapport with the individuals that you're building with? Is it more communication? Is it transparency? Is it honesty? Is it more material exchange and resources? Is it more time spent together? Is it relocation of where you want to build? Like everything. Is it I need time alone? This is too much on top of each other. These these things need to open up so that you can manifest them. I will give you all a ritual tomorrow and how to draw down some power, because during your full moon rites, you're going to need to know how to load your swords and your daggers. Okay? And in doing so, you'll be able to strike with more accuracy when it's time. Okay? And this is not a strike. This is not a strike at your enemies. Because when we are moving in a waxing phase, we want to do constructive magic. We want to do things that are going to build up. All right. That's why I'm saying fifth into the sixth. We want to do things that are building up. That time after it, that's when you want to do something to cut things out. Okay. So I do want to move in alignment with the moon. I honor the moon. I am a woman and I'm connected to the moon very naturally. And so that's my spirit, and that's my story. And that's what I'm going to just keep it to. All right. So keep it up. We got 7 more days. If you're in the HOC, you see that we have some bomb ass menus, bomb food. We got hella chefs in the group cooking it up like crazy. So head over there if you want some tips on how to eat clean and eat well at the same time. And if you need some encouragement to make sure that you can keep on with the wheat greening for the 21 days straight. The theme for this week: balance self with connections to others. Balance the self with your connections to others, because your connections to others will have a direct effect on the quality of yourself. You feel me? Don't take it lightly. We're not playing games no more. Don't be scared. You got to be really clear. Okay? And open up your mouth and use your communication skills to understand that. And if you're working, last piece, if you're working in your book of changes, this subject is going to bring your attention to your relationships. So if you currently have your timeline and you got to circling themes, this theme is relationships. How do each relationship, how does how does each relationship affect your soul's journey? Okay, you can look at the past, you can look at the present, and you can look at what you're looking for in the future. All right, so that's it. Happy Sunday, y'all. It's a pleasure seeing you all again up in the chat. Once again, shouts out to my baby sis. I'm pretty excited about this. All right, much love to y'all. Peace, love, and bliss.